Gideon forged my signature, emptied my late husband's trust fund, and framed me for tax fraud. Eli's college savings gone. CPS showed up at my door with court papers. Now I'm fighting for custody while Gideon vacations in Maui, bragging on Instagram. My lawyer says if we can't find Marcy's records, I'll lose everything, including Eli. After Jonathan died, Gideon offered to help with the estate. Instead, he rewired my business accounts, installed spyware, and had Serena convince me to sign routine papers. I was exhausted, grieving, and trusted her. Eli's blue bear his comfort, since Nico was missing from his bed the night CPS visited. Serena told the caseworker I was mentally unstable. That's when I knew my sister picked a side, and it wasn't mine. Gideon kept coming by the shop, acting like he still owned part of it. When I asked him to leave, he smirked and called it my inheritance now. My hands shook as I counted the till that night short again. I installed cameras as Serena stopped answering my texts. I felt betrayed, hollowed out. Eli asked why Aunt Serena didn't visit anymore. I told him sometimes people lie even when they say they love you. I gave Drake copies of my financials, hoping to catch Gideon, but he'd scrubbed everything. The only backup I had was Marcy's, and she'd ghosted me since the funeral. Drake warned Serena might have helped with the laundering. I spent the night searching old emails. Praying for proof, Eli crawled into bed, clutching his blue bear. I whispered, "We'll get him." But inside, I didn't believe it anymore. Marcy finally replied, "Just a one-liner, I have what you need, but I'm scared." I drove to her apartment. She slid a flash drive under the door and whispered, "It proves everything. Gideon threatened my job." Inside were bank transfers, voice memos, even a forged deed. Drake said it was enough to open an investigation, but Serena's name was all over the files too. My stomach turned. She hadn't been tricked, she was in it. In court, Gideon's lawyer presented a psychiatric evaluation signed by Serena stating I was unfit to parent. My hands clenched under the table. I whispered to Drake, "This is fake." He nodded and passed me a note. Time for flashback. I took the stand and told the judge about Serena's postpartum breakdown. How I covered for her, paid her bills. I never judged her, I said, but she judged me and lied. The twist hid in cross-examination. Drake asked Serena, "Did Naomi help you during your breakdown?" Her face crumbled. "Yes." "Did she forge your signature on financial documents?" "No." "So who did?" She paused. "Gideon." The courtroom fell silent. Gideon shouted, "Liar." Bailiffs restrained him. The judge ordered a recess. Serena wouldn't meet my eyes, but her silence was over. For the first time, I saw doubt ripple through the crowd back home. I found Eli asleep in my bed, blue bear curled under his chin. I sat beside him, replaying Serena's testimony. I remembered a day Jonathan's funeral, when she held my hand, swore she'd protect us, but she lied, then broke, and maybe now she was trying to fix it. I texted Marcy, "It's working. Be ready." She replied, "Drake's filing charges tomorrow. Get rest." This next part's war. Gideon was arrested outside his hotel. The footage made local news, him screaming about conspiracies while in handcuffs. Drake handed me the final report. "Your shop's clean. You're clean." I nodded, holding back tears. That night, Serena called. "I'm sorry." I said, "You'll testify again?" She agreed. For Eli, I would make peace with a shattered sister on my terms. CPS dropped the case. The judge restored full custody. At the courthouse steps, reporters shouted questions. I lifted Eli in my arms. "We're going home," I told him. His blue bear dangled from his backpack, stitched and safe. Serena stayed behind, silent. Maybe she'd find her own way back. But my son was safe, and so was my name. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe to check out more stories on my channel.